Welcome, fellow comic book enthusiasts, to another episode of Justice League Revisited, the unofficial companion podcast to both Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I am one half of the crunchy sandwich cookie that makes up this incredible podcast. On the other half of the Zoom screen, right over there, the other crunchy part, and our guest will be the gooey middle filling. We've got the voice of Wonder Woman, Susan Eisenberg. Hello to you.
Hello to you, my co-host. Thank you for that intro.
Of course.
I'm so flattered.
I didn't put a flavor out there. I didn't know if you preferred vanilla or strawberry, or if we are a pistachio sandwich cookie. But
oh no,
okay,
no, vanilla and chocolate. You know, Oreo, like Jean.
Okay, there you go. Hey. And unfortunately, Jean is not in the episode we're discussing today.
I know, but look at me with the reference.
I know,
right?
That was great.
Impressive.
You've come a long way, my young Padawan. That was a Star Wars reference, just for those of you on
Yeah, well, I'm going to get one out of every 10 of your references, and that's
right.
Fine with me. So hi. So look at us with a new show. And so do we want to tell the kids who's on today?
We could do that. Right off his appearance as Lobo in Supergirl, we've got Jason Momoa joining us. And no, I'm kidding. Maybe one day. I know everyone listening just leaned forward a little bit like, wait, what? As exciting as that would be, our guest is so exciting because he's got the Watchtower Database. You know him, You love him. James Strecker is joining us today to cover the Once and Future thing. Both parts 1 and 2, because it's kind of hard to just do one part and not the other part.
Yes and no, although they very much, I mean, there are some things that you need to catch, but overall they could almost be standalone episodes because, obviously one is in one location, the other is in a different location, and there's a lot going on. I think this may be the busiest 2 episodes we've had in a really long time. Probably
not since Injustice for All, the one with where it had the Lex Luthor shows up and he's got, Cheetah and Grundy, because that one early on in Justice League was like, holy crap, there's like 15 of you all in the studio doing, and also Secret Society was another one where you've got a large group of people going on. You've really got to pay attention to everything. But this is kind of like that, I feel. This is grand in scope.
It's huge. And I just kept thinking of the directors because I just am so aware now, having interviewed a few of them along the way, of the colossal job they have to do in creating these characters and the universes in which these characters live. So yeah, it was a bit overwhelming. I think I finally have a handle on part 2 because I was like, who are these characters and what's happening?
I should have had you watch Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, because that would have made a lot more sense.
Oh, sure. Now you tell me.
But I wanted to save that one because we're going to do that at some other point down the road.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Is that down the road? Okay. I can't wait for you to, bring me into some other some other shows. But yeah, I thought this was fantastic. A great episode and a great one to talk with James about because like you, he's, a nerd like, I don't know, do people even use nerd anymore?
Geek, nerd, it's all the same. Only the names have changed.
Okay. Because he's as geeky as you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to watch the two of you geek out over this, and I'll be standing over here in the corner.
You'll provide our running commentary, like, actually, in this particular scene, I went out for a smoke break when.
Right. Exactly. Right. I don't remember this scene because I wasn't in most of this.
Part 1, though, you're heavily in, so this is be a lot to talk about. I'm excited. So with that said, James is waiting in the green room. We specifically told him not to sit in Dan's chair. So hopefully, Gary, you want to go get him? Well, thank you.
Wow.
Have you noticed how much?
Impressive.
Yeah, he's really kind of upped his game since we brought Chuck in.
I know. It's like weirdly competitive, but in a good way for us.
That's family, man. That's family. That's you get 2 cousins in there.
So true. It's so true.
Oh, here he comes. Okay. Thank you, Gary. All right. He's seated. He's ready. James Strecker, host of Watchtower Database, brand new movie store owner, and man, I'm most jealous of when it comes to his collection of DC Animated Universe stuff. James, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me. And I saw, is it Gary? Is that the doorman here you have?
Gary's
Yes.
he's been really upped his game.
Yeah.
One of a few. Yeah. I
Recording in progress.
Oh, did you only just now start the recording?
I hit the button earlier, but we'll continue on.
Okay, it just now told me. Anyway, we'll pretend like that didn't happen. I was just going to say, I've heard so much about your assistants here, but I didn't realize that they were all Joker-faced Egyptian guys. Like, it was kind of weird. Now I'm seeing them in person. So
we had them dress up just for that once and future thing to look like they did in the second episode.
It's a one-time.
Yeah, we just think it's fun. It adds a little, excitement.
Dan Rima makes them dress up in ballerina skirts. So
very nice man.
Yeah.
James, let's keep something
Sorry.
in the family. Anyway, welcome to you.
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
And just a huge congrats on all your success because
you
it's
too.
been huge. It's just been huge. And, as somebody could say it's really exciting to watch it, even from afar. So congratulations to all of you, to all you guys.
Yeah, we've had to put I want to even say a hiatus really, because we continue to work on the videos in the background all the time, but it's kind of a pause on the public side of things. We keep putting out shorts and podcast episodes and things like that, but the big, heavy video essay stuff has been sort of paused as we do all this prep for the video store, as James mentioned. It's Video Horizons here in Astoria, Oregon. I'm going to plug it immediately. If you're anywhere near us, please come in, meet the Watchtower Database people, rent some movies, buy some movies. We've got a big TV in the corner with a bat signal on top of it. That was day 2 or something that we put that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And also, you're a busy guy. You have a growing family too.
Yeah.
I understand the pause for some of the projects.
Well, most people have been very receptive to it and understanding, so it's been great. But I'm pleased to make time for the Justice League Revisited podcast, because anytime that I get extended hey, you wanna yes, I'll do everything to make it happen to be here.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, we really, really do. And this is a big one to tackle, once and future thing. I mean, 2-parter. Just a lot of character.
Let me really quick give the breakdown in this. So for those of you listening at home, pull out your little scorecards, kids. This is season 1 of Unlimited, episodes 12 and 13. The first one, which is called Weird Western Tales, debuted on January 22nd. How about that? We're just exactly 21 years off in 2005. Episode 13 on the 29th of January, 2005. Part 1, Weird Western Tales, was written by Dwayne McDuffie, directed by Dan Reba. Part 2, Time Warped, was also written by Dwayne McDuffie, but directed by Joaquim Dos Santos. And it's got an incredible voice cast, which, should I go through it all now, or should we kind of just dig into it as we go along and mention them?
Yeah, maybe dig into it, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
Do it now, do you think? List some?
List some. Yeah, let's list some.
So we'll start with the first part then.
Let's have everybody doing 3 different voices.
Yes.
Too, so.
Yeah, back just like the old days. Yeah. So obviously throughout this 2-parter, we have our own dear Susan Eisenberg as Wonder Woman, Kevin Conroy as Batman Bruce Wayne, Phil Lamar as Green Lantern John Stewart, and Kronos, played by Peter McNichol, which I kept thinking, gosh, the voice sounds so familiar. And it dawned on me after I heard the credits, oh, of course, it's Peter McNichol's voice.
And I should mention, Ally McBeal, I was such a huge fan of Ally McBeal. And I remember Peter being in the studio, because he sat right next to me. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, the guest stars on these are always crazy. But when it's a big one like that, then yeah.
And he's such a talent. I mean, listen. He was in Sophie's Choice. I mean, the man is extraordinary. He's just an extraordinary actor. And so when I was sitting next to him, you just get giddy. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay.
No, so that's the kind of stuff we love. Are you kidding? So for part 1, which takes place, obviously we said Weird Western Tales. They jump back to June of 1879. We've got a bevy of DC Western characters. We have Jonah Hex, voiced by Adam Baldwin. We have Sheriff Smith, voiced by Jonathan Joss. We have El Diablo, voiced by Nestor Carbonell, whose wife voiced Ink in Batman Beyond.
Right.
We have Ed O'Ross as Tobias Manning, who in the comic books is obviously Terra Man, a villain of Superman. And we've got Mindy Sterling as Enid Clinton, the wife of Kronos, and Peter Honorati as Warhawk, and that last little snippet we get before transitioning over to part 2.
And Nestor was at the time, he was on Suddenly Susan.
Oh, that's right.
A comedy, with Brooke Shields, Kathy Griffin. And he was, he's such an adorable man and lovely. And I was also a little starstruck by him. And Mindy is a rock star.
She's the best.
I mean, she's a rock star and, a Groundlings. I mean, she's so famous in that improv circle because she's just an extraordinary talent. But it was when you listen to her performance in this, in parts 1 and 2, you're just like, wow. Because she brings everything from the wacky, crazy, wretched wife to almost, seductive in some areas. And I thought she was phenomenal.
And she was great. If you're an Alan Tudyk fan and you haven't seen the web series Con Man, you need to go watch Con Man. And Mindy Sterling is his booking agent in that. She's brilliant. And I've got a really good Mindy Sterling story, but we'll tell it if there's time.
Okay.
If there's time. Because I want to make sure we do the episode, no offense, or no pun intended, justice. So let's.
Yes. You always have to do that. Wonderful, because Susan's here.
Yes.
Yeah. Never
I'm
gets
a
old,
pun guy.
James.
No, thank you. You say that, but I think you're telling the truth that you like to hear that.
That's what I'm saying. It never gets old.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Hi.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll start with our guest then. Initial thoughts on the episode,
yeah.
James.
This is one of my favorites from at least the first season of Unlimited. Once it gets into the Cadmus stuff, it gets very that's the stuff you remember. That's the the big storyline or whatever. But we were talking, I think, technically off the air a week ago about how part 1 is so chock full of not necessarily obscure, but just kind of you got to know, if you know, kind of DC characters.
Yeah.
That when I was a kid watching this episode when it first aired is I don't know who any of those guys are. And then, but versus you, James E, had probably the opposite reaction, kind of who all those guys are. But then in part 2, it more becomes a DCAU who's who than anything else, where Batman Beyond original character from Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett. Then you have Warhawk, who was also original to Batman Beyond. And Static is just one step away from being an original DCAU character because Dwayne McDuffie is on the show and brought him in and did the cartoon and everything. And so that part was the okay, cool. This is what a fun romp of an episode. We're in the Old West. And then the last 10 seconds of the episode, they pop in and all those guys show up. That was a goosebumps. I'm crying. My nose is bleeding. All this kind of stuff for child James. And it still is because they pop in the end of the episode and I know everything that's about to happen. I know Warhawk's about to say, Dad. And it's still, I get shivers every single time. It's just such a good moment. And then the whole second episode is just a ride from start to finish. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
And Susan, you're not in it as much in the second episode, but you are very much in this first part of the episode. So sometimes you have really solid memories of this, that, or the other. Sometimes you're I don't really remember this one. So where do you land on the first part?
I remember this solidly because it's one of my favorite episodes. When I'm asked, what episodes are your favorite? This one's always on the top of the, it's in the top. There's so many great episodes. I'm not even going to say where it is. It's just I'm so proud to be part of this episode. And I say that because everything about it is top notch. I mean, the fact that Dwayne wrote it, that it's so damn funny, that the music cues, dynamic music partners, hat tip to them. I just love all the music. There's such comedy in all those music cues.
The little stealing the cash from the guy's pocket as he runs away.
It's just,
very nice.
And just the 7 of us walk, is it 7 walking and toward the camera and, and and I like cowboy boots, so there's that. But it was just, it was so smart and so well directed. Dan Reba, part one, and again, everything about it just felt like this is such a trip. This episode, it's such a fun ride.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like I said, I remember being in the recording studio, and all of us in there, and like, and I remember Mindy, I remember Pete, like I just remember us all being there and just laughing at some of the the moments in the studio.
I feel like the whole like, you could be confused what's going on because there's so much happening and so much, you have to be thinking of time travel and who's who and all this stuff. But I think that if you didn't know, like I was saying, I didn't know who any Batlash and Sheriff Oaisha Smith and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know who that is when I'm 10 years old or whatever. But, and I know Static and Batman Beyond and all that in part two. But even if I didn't know any of them, it's still just a very cool, well done story, just going like so far back in time and so far forward in time that even because you have like, if you know it's Batman Beyond, then you know it's Batman Beyond. But if you don't, then it's like, whoa, there's another Batman later. Like that could just be your entire introduction to him and it would still work really well. And they don't go out of their way to do a lot of, I think I had mentioned this before, but it would do a lot of here comes Tobey Maguire entering the scene in the swirly portal and we're going to like pause for applause now. Like there's not a lot of that. There's just a like, yep, they're here. We're going to do this stuff and beat the bad guy. And it just happens to be really cool the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I think that one of the brilliant things about the team that worked on the show was, they're such fans and they're so smart about the genre, but they also never condescended to the audience. They never took the audience by its hand and said, okay, so here, this character is named such and such. Yeah.
It was the epitome of when Hal Jordan shows up and he just says like, I'm up to speed, carry on, and just walks away. And
that was great.
Even Batman, who like at this point in his life in the show has seen everything, just goes like, he doesn't like, wait, who are you? He just goes.
But it did give me chills only because, I know that's Kevin and I knew Kevin did both voices. And, it's just very, I mean, even if he were still here, it would be wonderful. But it's just, it becomes so much more than just watching a show, knowing he's gone. And just, I loved those moments. I loved the moments when Green Lantern was, trying to figure out the paternity of the kid.
Right, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Or like, I just loved it. It was so entertaining.
We had dual Phil Lamar's, dual Kevin Conroy's, like all this stuff going on. I really love the way I've always found it funny that in Batman Beyond, Kevin is putting, like, he's not necessarily putting on like old man voice. He's just kind of doing a little bit gruffer than he normally would for Batman. But then by the time you guys got to Justice League, he was basically still doing that same kind of gruffer voice for like the younger Batman. So then we get to this episode and he has to push the gruff old guy just a tad further than he was before. And you can tell in a couple lines, but the rest of it is just completely flawless of like, oh, that's just two different people or two different, like as if you time traveled Kevin into the studio from 20 years later. Yeah.
His voice was a little higher. A little bit higher in, for my Batman. And, and just a little bit deeper and a little, like you said, gruff, but it was just sensational. Anyway.
I also just love that I'm not giving other James any time to talk. I'm so sorry. I like this episode a lot. He talks every week. No, I just really like that this is also, in Batman Beyond when they were making it, they wouldn't have known they were going to do the Wonder Bat stuff later on in production wise. So this is like the only time we get any sort of hint of old man Bruce Wayne and his like attachment to Wonder Woman. Because when you disappear, he looks very forlorn and like, oh my God, about it. Like she's gone kind of a thing. And that was, I don't know, that particular moment, like I almost tear up a little bit because I'm like, and especially, I guess spoilers, I don't know, we're just talking about everything.
Spoiler away.
When Terry gets like ripped apart off screen or whatever happens from the like laser whip things, and Kevin's like Terry, like very heartbreaking moment.
Intense. Yeah, that was intense. And the Wonder Woman thing. Yeah, it's funny. I should have I did see that, and you're right. That was older. Yeah, Diana. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was weird that I just disappeared like that. What happened? What?
You never left the island, or you were never born. That's what happened.
I know. It's crazy. This time travel thing is super complicated.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, as they say.
Yeah, all the time, every time.
Who says that?
Doctor
Who's
Who.
that besides you?
The 10th Doctor says it.
Oh, sorry.
There's my Star Wars reference and my Doctor Who reference. Thank you. That's our time, folks.
Yeah, you've put them all in. I was going to say, if there's one thing I know about you is that you definitely had cable as a child. So when you first saw this episode on TV, or however you may have consumed it, was this a similar to me where it was, because we have a wee bit of an age gap. If we have that moment, do you have that same moment of like, yes, all the action figures, I love it? Or was it just kind of like, oh, cool, neat, another episode for you?
Yeah, well, I hate to correct you, but I didn't have cable because I grew up very poor. Yeah, so when I had to watch, I had to wait for the DVDs to come out. So.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
really?
So if I watched it, was on
shocking.
DVD. Yeah, we had two channels. One of them was Snow, and the other was Channel 2. So that was all we got to see.
Okay. So you watched these on DVD.
Yeah, and that was only if my dad would stand up on the roof and hold the antenna up just right. So it's a very it was a rough go.
Well, you can come watch them anytime on DVD inside Video Horizons on our big TV.
Where is it?
With the
And where is it again?
It's in Astoria, Oregon.
I want to make a trip up there just to see it because I think I've never been all the way up to Maine, never been to Washington and Oregon, and I think those there's only like 5 states I haven't seen, but they're at the corners. So
we have nearly 70,000 DVDs in the store. We're I believe the second or third largest video store that remains. So yeah.
Any
just
VHS?
bragging a little bit. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Any VHS at all?
Oh, tons. Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
come buy them all, please.
Well, I've seen it's so
each,
funny because I've seen I was at a Toy Man toy show and set up. I was selling stuff, and there's this kid. He had to be in his early 20s, walking out of the place with like a handful of VHS. I said, "Is there a guy in there selling this?" Oh yeah, I was so excited. I go, "Do you have a player?" Yeah, I found one in a garage sale, and we watched the VHS. And I'm like, "That is so cool that
it's looping back around."
Gen Z is checking out VHS
vinyl and stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, although VHS was tough. Like when you see things that were loaded on YouTube from VHS, and it's like, it's all like, until it becomes clear, it's about six seconds. It's always like a little awkward.
That reminds me because I used to tape all of these episodes as they were airing and rewatch them 1,000 times. And
right, because you had cable.
Yes, exactly.
Rub it in, guys. That's fine.
James, which I'm just learning for the first time. I noticed for the first time watching this that in the end of part 1 in the credits, I've got it here on the screen. This panning shot when everybody shows up to interrogate Ghoul on the rooftop, and instead of Green Lantern, you, Wonder Woman, are standing there in this group in the like little end credits part 1 like previews for next time kind of stuff. And I wonder if that was sort of like a red herring kind of thing for like, don't throw him off that Wonder Woman won't be there or whatever. So I had never caught that till this. So
that.
Yes, you should.
Yeah. And we will.
I'll make a note of that, okay?
And we will.
And he'll go, "What? I didn't know that."
Or he'll be like, I didn't know.
We're still trying to figure out why that girl was in the damn tree.
Yes.
Right?
He doesn't have a good reason.
No.
I love some of the lines that you had, though, Susan. And I think we talked about this before. We had to shut down our last recording about these are the biggest, slowest bullets I've ever seen. Some of the lines you got to deliver and about wearing the boots and high heels and everything. And you had some fantastic lines in this first part.
Which I have to say it was such a thrill to be be able to be funny because Wonder Woman's so, she can be a little humorless sometimes.
She's becoming a lot more like integrated into man's world or whatever now. Like kind of gets the rhythm of everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so many fans will say those lines back to me when I meet them, and I just, it never gets old.
You said it's a very funny episode. It really like is pretty flawlessly funny. Like there's not a moment that I'm like, that joke didn't land or whatever. Like, because there's that and that whole scene of you putting on the clothes. Green Lantern has the shower been invented? Someone should tell this guy or whatever.
Right.
And then the very end of the episode, I don't think it's necessarily supposed to be funny, but I always love you just have to do this thing, and then Batman gets zapped. Or maybe I'm lying. Just the way he says that is so funny to me every time. Yeah.
Yep. So funny. Yeah.
Batman outsmarted by Peter McNichol. Who would have thought? But I think I did like Kronos, and I liked his his comic accurate suit in the second half, because was my first introduction to him, was reading the Blue Beetle series from the 80s, because he pops up as a villain in that series too. So it's I was kind of excited when Kronos, he got his comic accurate suit, which comic accuracy always kind of is my little sticking point.
This was one of those episodes for me. Watching them as they came out, where I was also reading the Justice League Adventures comic that tied in with this, and interviewing people from it years after the fact. Like, I've come to know that at the time they weren't getting any notes from the cartoon. Like, nobody had time to talk to each other and sort through these things and make sure everything lined up perfectly. But Kronos was in several of those Justice League Adventures issues in a like very comic accurate, like hood over the face with a little sundial, or the what am I trying to say here? Sand
hourglass,
sand tourney thing, hourglass. Thank you. And the cape and everything. And then in this, it's kind of like a sort of, I don't know, modernized, beyondified version of it or something like that.
Yeah.
Completely not really related to that, but it reminded me of, I've been frame by frame through these episodes, having to pluck clips out for videos and things like that. And the bit where they say, like, 6 guns, 6 of us, nobody miss. And then you see suddenly all the guns are taken out in like, half a second or whatever. If you pause as that's happening, like go frame by frame, the way that Wonder Woman takes out one of the guns is by throwing her tiara at it, which is like, where were you keeping that? Because it's not on your head the whole time, as far as we know.
Wow.
It's just somewhere in a pocket, or I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
Maybe it was on Batman's utility belt.
That's true. He was holding a bunch of stuff for you guys. Yeah.
Maybe he was just, holding it for me till I needed it. Like my purse or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I love the use of the score from Justice League. Like they use that score.
Yeah.
Like our original theme.
For the Western kind of background. Yeah.
No, it's just so good. So good.
Yeah.
So are we still in one? Technically,
would you like to move on, or do you have a comment?
Either way, yeah.
No, I just want to know if we fully explored 1 before we move over to 2.
Yeah, the only other comment I had was I was a
Thoughts?
little upset because when they first get to the ranch and they're having the big showdown with Tobias, the guy rides out on a Velociraptor and they punch him. I'm like, that one didn't burst into flame with circuits. I'm like, is that one? Did they have a real one? Because I was upset for the poor Velociraptor. All the other ones, they made a big point of showing, an explosion and circuitry come out. They didn't with that one. So I'm like, wait a minute, did they actually have a live one, or was it just not animated that way?
That's always been so weird to me that I wonder if that was a broadcast standards and practices thing of not showing animals or non-existent animals. So it's like, why do they have to also be robots? They could have just gotten actual dinosaurs.
I have to say, if you had told me back in the session when I was recording this episode that one day I'd be having this conversation with 2 guys named James, I don't know that I would have thought that would really come to pass. We're like the
twins. There was one of us, and then we smacked into a wall and burst.
Right.
Oh my God, how annoying were the DD twins? It was so comical in just, it was so creepy and perfect, perfect.
Yeah. No, that whole group.
City.
Unless anyone had anything else on part 1, you want to transition to part 2?
I'm good with whatever. Yeah.
So
we can talk
Okay.
about both of them for 2 more hours, but we don't have that amount of time.
Oh, unfortunately, no. But I mean, this is one that we could like do deep dives on too.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something like that, obviously you can check out Watchtower Database because you guys do deep dives on a lot of cool episodes.
Yeah.
I will say we also have our own podcast. I'm sure I'll plug this again at the end, but I'm taking my friend Brian through the whole DCAU. He's never seen any of it. You were on an episode, James.
Yes.
And we'll invite you, Susan, when we get to Justice League finally, because it's going to still be another couple of years before we get there. There's a lot of these shows. But we're on halfway through Batman Beyond or so right now, and he's really digging Batman Beyond. And so I'm very happy because every time that we have to go to the next episode, I'm like, is this going to be one that he likes or not? And especially something like this with sort of revelations like, Warhawk is Green Lantern's son and that kind of stuff. Or just Batman Beyond popping up for the first time in probably like 3 years worth of cartoon episodes is going to be a very fun experience for Brian. That's what I'm always thinking of now when I'm watching.
Well,
these
that's the
later
smart way to
shows.
do
Yeah.
it, is to start from the beginning and just move your way
Yeah.
through. We started here, obviously, because
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. But, I've said to James on more than one occasion, I would love to go back and watch Batman the Animated Series. I mean, because I never watched
sure.
it
Yeah, I was
from
gonna say,
beginning to
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I've seen episodes here and there. But, it kind of is where it all started. And Superman the Animated Series, that would be a little weirder because, I mean, just
Yeah,
because
indifferent Superman.
but I love Timmy. I
Yeah.
love him, Timmy Daly, and I love Georgie. So, and yes, I actually call them Timmy and Georgie in real life. And I love them both. But I don't think so I've said to James, you gotta take me through those because that's a journey.
Yeah.
So maybe I can convince him to do
You'd
that.
be much less of an insight into those. You'd have the same sort of experience of just seeing them for the first time. Yeah,
Exactly.
it'd be a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that when we finish this journey. We
Yeah.
still have a while to go on this journey.
Yeah. So part 2, obviously, we mentioned Time Warped is the title, and they show up at the end of part 1, now thrown into the Batman Beyond futuristic Gotham City. They're met by the Jokers. And this particular team of Jokers, eagle-eyed viewers might spot, this is the same Joker group that was in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. It's the same group because we see different Jokers throughout Batman Beyond. But I don't recall ever seeing this group outside of the Return of the Joker, because these were specifically handpicked henchmen by, and I won't spoil that one for anybody just in case, the Joker in the future. I'll leave it at that. Future Joker. But I loved it. And one of the things, and you probably had the same thought, James, when they first show up and they've got the appendages come out and one's got the saw blade on his arm. I was thinking of the episode April Moon, because they had those enhancements. That was where my brain first went. I'm assuming
Clearly,
you.
Susan was also thinking of April
Yes.
Moon,
Oh
obviously.
my God, uncanny that all of us were thinking the same thing. And if I knew
yeah.
what you were talking about, it would be glorious.
All you have to know is you just say the phrase April Moon and they shut down. So that's it
was a fail-safe.
To me, I turn off, I go away. Sorry. They all. That's kind of always been the fan theory, is that they went to Dr. Corso off screen or whatever. And I love that they also somehow just got away with the most blatant Darth Maul lightsaber I've ever seen in something that's not Star Wars, and like it even makes the same sound effects. And and it does. I love that little visual trickery. They'll do it in a lot of stuff where, like, for sort of an impact, they'll invert the frame for one frame or whatever. So every time Wonder Woman gets hit by the lightsaber, she, like, her colors all invert for like 1 or 2 frames there, and it's just a very well done. Like it works for what its intended purpose. Whenever those guys show up and they're just very obviously the ones from the movie, that's just another one of those, like, if you know, it's very cool, and if you don't, then it's just like, whoa, mysterious future Joker people or whatever. And it's still it works for the story.
The fact that you have seen these things frame by frame, you're like, the directors that you've interviewed must be so appreciative, because you'll see things that, the average person watching is just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. People have come up to me with very, very specific questions that I wish to God I could answer. But
just call me in the middle of a con.
Right, exactly. I'll have to put you on speed dial, James, or James.
Yeah, either one, yeah.
Yeah, but that's wonderful that you know these things so intimately that you can say, oh, in that frame. That's great. That's great.
On the flip side of that, though, I've always been sort of embarrassed that it took me a very long time to notice that the opening shot of part 1 shows the same like Gotham Bay or whatever, pans up to the buildings that are like the future Gotham skyline from Batman Beyond. But it's kind of like, if you're not paying attention, we just saw Bugs Bunny and the Warner Brothers logo, and I'm just getting the tape recording and I'm getting settled in to watch the episode. And if you miss those first couple shots, you don't realize that Kronos comes from the Batman Beyond like time period or whatever in that opening of the episode. And so that was something, not this time, I noticed it a while ago, but something that is a much more recent notice for me is like, oh, I should have known that. I should have had that in mind a long time ago. But yeah.
Yeah, see, the pressure's off me on those things, because I did not notice that. Yeah. And better write that down for my next podcast.
Yes, you can pretend. Yeah.
when I'm the geek and somebody else is. Yeah, okay.
We'll look for Susan's new podcast where she's joined by Peter McNichol going through.
Right?
I, of course, noticed the buildings. Yeah.
Peter, what about you? Yes, that'd be a fun one to watch, actually.
I thought the second one was really cool in terms of the time travel. What always was shocking to me was they would get him, and then it was like, just grab him already. Yeah. Grab him. Because they'd be like, there would be always that delay of a couple of minutes, and then he's gone down a different,
The whole time that when she flips the blanket off of him and shouts at him, they're like, nice on the stealth thing, lady. And then he just, They give him so much time to like wake up and do
frustrating
stuff. So many moments that they just stopped him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, weren't they prepared for that? Like, the blanket comes off. They should have been. And
grappling hooks, Green Lantern rings, anything.
Green Lantern cuff right on him. Just put the handcuffs.
Yeah.
Anything.
But then we wouldn't have gotten the big hand of the creator or whatever in the beginning of time. Like, that was a very nice little tag ending to throw in
true.
there.
That's true. Okay, fair enough.
We wouldn't have gotten a fun little fight. It would just be over.
No, it would be like if they solved the Columbo episode 20 minutes in. You're going to lose a lot. But still, it was just like, as a person watching,
it's frustrating.
I was just like, okay, really? Really, Batman? You're not going to just be right in there to grab him?
So since some of the voice actors were only in part 2, Susan, do you remember, was this recorded as 2 separate sessions? Did you do all of your lines because you disappear halfway through the second episode? Do you remember, do you record all your lines in one session and you weren't there with Michael and Will Friedle and Melissa Joan Hart and everything like that? Or were everyone in the room together and some people just sat around for a little while?
You know what? I wish I did remember that. I don't recall Melissa Joan Hart. I don't recall being in the room with her.
Okay.
And so, and Will, I think I would have remembered Will, and I'd love to know. I mean, I don't think we would have recorded that back to back.
Okay.
And I just would have hung around, and I don't think so.
Yeah, and they would have sat around for the entire first part of this. So for those of you listening, the second part, which we obviously mentioned, Time Warped, we have Michael Rosenbaum. The Flash isn't in this at all, but he got to voice Ghoul just like he did in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Will Friedle obviously voices future Batman / Terry. Melissa Joan Hart as Dee Dee. D. Bradley Baker as Wolf. Don Harvey as Chucko. And Adam Baldwin doing double duty because he came in on this one as Bonk. The only people who didn't reprise their Joker roles from Batman Beyond Return of the Joker were Frank Welker as Wolf and Henry Rollins did Bonk. Everyone else came back. I'm sure Michael was an easy get because he's already recording Justice League. But I love that they got Melissa Joan Hart and Don Harvey. Gosh, Don Harvey back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, with Michael, I mean, I obviously wasn't there, but my understanding is that he was so busy with Smallville that most of that first season of JLU, he just Flash appeared a couple times, but he just goes like, and is gone or whatever. Like, he doesn't do anything or say anything. But I think this is his return to the show is ironically not through Flash. It's through Ghoul. Yeah.
Ghoul.
Yeah.
I could tell it was Michael, and it was so good. I mean, I could tell, but not to take anything away from him. I just know his voice so well.
His Christopher Walken impression is always very funny.
Yeah, he's
What we're after is cutting edge. He's one of his lines in Return of the Joker, and it's just so, it's supposed to be so serious.
he's just yeah.
I wet my bed until I was 14. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the interrogation of Ghoul by Batman, and then Bruce Wayne's like, I can't even believe I was that green. Pushes
Right,
Batman out of the way and steps forward, and Batman's playing good cop. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the second episode.
That was great.
Well, and
Great.
you said you haven't talked with Dan yet about this, but I'm sure he'll probably bring up the fact that, to my knowledge, the animation studio that did part one, they had to ask for like 1 million retakes because it came back and it was just awful looking. Like it just wasn't what they wanted. Yeah.
That was another episode we talked about where it
Same
came
thing
back
happened.
and it
Yeah,
was just-
same thing happened.
that same thing. And
It was the
Part
Dark
two
Heart.
just looks
Dark
so
Heart.
much better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And part two looks so much better. It's a different studio. I think it's, oh God, I think it's Dong Yang for part one, and I'm gonna get it wrong. It might be like Dong Wu or something for part two. Either way, it doesn't matter. The part two looks so much better, but I think there are shots in part one that might be done by the part two people, because there's like certain close-ups that are like, this is way better drawn than the last shot was, or whatever.
Interesting.
But yeah.
And speaking of how it looked, I mean, not to skip to the end, but I'm going to skip to the end of part two when Green Lantern is like, they're in the bubble.
Yeah.
And he's steering them down.
Yeah.
I just could not get over how great that was and exciting. Like,
Yeah.
are they going to catch him? I mean,
Yeah,
we
they're
know
gonna-
they're going to catch him. I mean, we know they're going to save the day, but wow, is that entertaining?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was like, hold on, kids, this is going to be a good ride.
It's a very tense moment of even now when I know everything that's going to happen. It's just like they got to install a CD-ROM into his belt. Is it going to work in time?
Right.
Oh my God.
And all the kids at home go, what's a CD-ROM? What's a CD-ROM?
Who knows?
It's not going to be compatible. Yeah, no, it was so good.
Oh, I
so
got our
good.
floppy disks.
Like,
I can't help you.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But I think that part of them when they wake up or reappear, however you want to say it, in the Watchtower, and John and Bruce are the only two who remember any of it.
Yeah, dead silent.
Yeah.
Obviously, Susan, I know what you're thinking. Yes, it was just like that episode of Angel where they fought that beast and he was restored to human. And then he had to, in order to save Buffy's life, redo the last 24 hours as if they never happened. I'm sure that's what you were thinking, Susan. The same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
He was
James-
the only one to
too.
remember
You
it.
know, James S. This is what he does. He has to bring this up.
Well-
you know, he's a huge Buffy fan, and so he doesn't like an episode to go by where we don't have a Buffy reference. So
I
Thank you
get
for-
most of the Star Trek ones. I don't, unfortunately, get any of the Buffy ones.
Well,
Buffy
you're
the
one of-
Vampire Slayer full series available at Video Horizons for rental in the TV section.
And where are you
actually.
located
where,
again?
and where is that? Where is
That's in
that?
Astoria, Oregon.
Not to be confused with Astoria, Queens.
Yes, exactly.
This is
exactly.
yeah,
yes.
different.
Yes. It's the original, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, so for those of you
Oldest,
counting at home, I've made a
Oregonian
Star
settlement.
Wars, a Star Trek, and a Buffy reference in one episode.
Yes.
That might be a new record, Susan.
I'm so proud.
Gary's
here
over
for
here
it,
laughing because Gary's appreciating this more
Yeah.
than I am.
He's got a big Joker smile on his face today. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right.
It is like, speaking of that, though, it is kind of weird, like, that Kronos would purposely choose, because obviously he's messing with stuff and bringing in, like, the Parthenon and all the like Eiffel Tower, all this stuff that shouldn't be there, and yet he purposely chooses to turn these like ancient Egyptian guards, who I think are also robots. Who knows what's going on anymore? But he like models their faces after the Joker. I've always kind of like headcanoned like an off-screen thing where when he goes and takes the Joker, teenage gang members from the Joker, like he must like steal them from him. That he like as like a FU to the to the actual Joker, like turns him into this weird like bodyguard robot thing, just as like I control everything, even the Joker, like the most chaotic,
Yeah, maybe
Speaking of
so.
chaotic. Wasn't these episodes, especially two, it just in a good way is so chaotic.
Yeah.
And Dwayne McDuffie, I mean, I don't think enough can be said about his genius and the fun he
Yeah.
provided and the I mean, just
He
the
just has an
brilliance.
encyclopedia of everything going on, and just being able to pull from it all as like we have everything from Future Static and all the Batman Beyond
Right.
stuff and all the Old West characters, all the way down to there's a Bill Clinton reference in Kronos's like checklist in the Watchtower.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I think
Yeah.
the trapping them like Batman does when he's stuck in that one moment in time forever, that was like, oh my gosh. I was wondering how that would work with a person. Like if you go into their house, do you just see that happening all?
Exactly.
How is there some way to break them out? Like if a third party came in, I was kind of wondering, how does that happen?
Well, yeah, and it's like, if it's just from Kronos's perspective, then from Enid's perspective, he pushes the button and just goes like comatose or something. Like, who knows what happens from that point? Yeah.
Or he disappears and he's never there.
Yeah,
as far as
he's just
Enid
gone.
knows. So yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
question. Is it only from his perspective, or is that from the outside world seeing it? How would that's interesting to think of, because if there's a time bubble around his house, how far out does it expand? Is someone else stuck if they go into it? I just had all these questions. That would be a Dan Reba or a Joaquin question, I guess.
There was a comic pitched a few years ago to DC that they didn't pick up on. It was before the Justice League Infinity stuff that James Tucker did, where it was a pitch for another JLU sequel comic, essentially, that starts off with the Suicide Squad, like the animated version from Task Force X episode, and they have Harley on the team. They have Bronze Tiger and Nightshade and a couple other ones that you didn't see in that episode, but they're you, of course, know who all these characters are, Susan.
Goes without saying, James. You don't even have to.
Then we get to where they're supposedly breaking into, and if you look closely, it's Kronos's house, but there's only like 6 pages of like the preview of what like to DC, like what they might do. So I've always been interested to see like, well, where were they going with that, or are they going to break in and find Kronos, like on a loop infinitely, or what's happening? But we'll never know. Yeah. That's all.
Unless James Tucker
And scene.
Yes, thank you.
if James Tucker decides to do another comic book, we'll see.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, he's a little busy right now, James Tucker.
Yeah,
just a little. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cape Crusader season 2. That should be. Hopefully, we hear something about it soon. But yeah.
I don't know if it'll be out by the end.
I
of
know
2026.
I know they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be excited about with both of these episodes. I think part 2 always sticks with me more just because of how like geeked out I get about all the returning DCAU characters. But it's just such a good like combo package of brilliant writing, very good directing from both of them. All this stuff where hearing Stan and them talk on your show, on our channel, and everything about how season 1 was supposed to be more of an anthology of just like, here's a cool thing they did and here's a cool thing they did before the Cadmus stuff ramps up. That this is one of those where it's just like, this is a completely standalone, like just a little romp that everybody went on, and then half of them forgot it ever happened or whatever, but or a third of them. Sorry, Susan. You don't get to know. But I do wonder if they told you about it, like, guess what? So there's all this weird stuff happening, but yeah, it's just, it's even though it's standalone, it still sticks out to me as like, it feels very season finale. It feels very like this was a really big deal. They stopped like everything from dying, the big entropy waves coming over and everything. Look at the sky, all that stuff. It does feel very big. Like this could have been a movie if they wanted to, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 2-parter out on DVD. Something like that. Yeah. And if you're looking for DVDs, by the way,
I was gonna let you do it this time.
If you're looking for DVDs, you might want to make your way to Astoria.
In Oregon? Yeah.
Yes.
It's Video Horizons. That's the name of the
Video
store.
Horizons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
we'll get
you.
used to it once we say it another 40, 50 times.
I'm curious.
Whatever, you got it.
Do you have a website for the store? Is there something?
Technically, yes. It's videohorizonsastoria.com. We don't have the inventory up online quite yet. We're working on it right now, like daily, because, again, tens of thousands of movies in the store, but also the computer system that runs everything is copyright 1983 and does not know what the internet is and cannot do anything, attached outside of itself. So it's a process, but you'll be able to see everything on there and what's available, and hopefully we can do some ordering online too, because I know a lot of the Watchtower fans are very eager to help support the store and help get some stuff, get some DVD. There's no way to do that unless you walk in right now.
Right.
So we're working on it. Yeah.
And also I think people realize with the fluctuations in the industry and everything that's going on and ownership, and I mean, there's such madness going on now that it's just, and James has always said this, it's so much better. There's so much value to owning the physical
DVDs. Yeah, we have like a whole list going of reasons why you should do that. Obviously, chief among them being that streaming will just remove stuff all the time. Case in point, the entire DCAU and Teen Titans and The Batman and a couple others just got taken off HBO Max in like every non-American country, as far as as far as I've seen.
Yeah, was people were posting that, and they neglected to say it wasn't. In the United States.
I had to keep following every post around and being like, "Hang on a second, wait, let me clarify," and all this stuff.
But it really pointed out how many fans there are too, who were like only getting HBO because of these shows and because of these. So but again, it's a lesson. It's a lesson. Like buy the physical copies, because it's important to have them when the streamers go. All right. Well, I mean, anything else that we want to add to this commentary?
I like Batman.
I like Batman too.
I think he's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
I just want to make sure that got in
Which
there.
Batman?
Yes.
Good answer. Good answer.
All three of them in this episode. Yeah.
And before we let you go too, we mentioned it a little bit, but tell people all about Watchtower Database and all the stuff you do for people who want to listen into your stuff.
Yeah, again, I don't want to neglect Watchtower in this. Of course, the video store is the thing in my life right now. But like I said, the videos will continue as they have been once we can get our feeting under us. You know what I'm saying. And then it's Watchtower Database on YouTube, DCAU Watchtower on all the social medias. And we're doing a lot of TikToks, a lot of shorts, a lot of podcasts in the meantime. If you are needing your Watchtower Database fix and waiting on our very next video is a Will It Canon, as the show that we do, episode on if Teen Titans and The Batman are in the same universe. It's been very highly requested for a long time, and we finally got to our Patreon goal for that, which is patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower. if anyone is interested in supporting us, it helps support the video store, it helps support the channel, all this stuff. So lots of good stuff coming up. We have several big, awesome video ideas on the docket, and looking forward to all of them, including one more this year that I hope to get one or both of you to voice things for. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds exciting. Oh, look, James, we have work coming up.
Yay!
Yes, finally.
And so we thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you really, we put out the call and you show up, and we really appreciate it. And
I will answer
honestly,
the bat signal anytime.
Always. And we just so appreciate your commentary, because, you're smart, and we appreciate that.
Look, wicked smart.
If I'm wearing this this shirt, I better know what I'm talking about, I guess.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, please say hello to the gang, and not from James, just from me.
Oh, okay.
And not from Gary. Gary doesn't care.
He doesn't say much.
He's very stoic.
And until the next time, when we have you back.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will always pinch myself to even be asked at all, and I always appreciate both of you very much. And I will see you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
We appreciate it.
Bye.
There he goes. Always glad to have him. Super insightful. And I love seeing that collection he's got. It's amazing. That's probably only
incredible.
A fraction.
I know, right? I mean, that's like, very small amount compared to what the whole thing is. But he's so insightful. And so I hope that the listeners get a kick out of that, because between the two of you, man, I didn't even need to show up.
we had to have your wonderful insights, obviously. So
Well, insights is a little strong, but thank you.
No, it's cool that we had, you knew for a fact Peter McNichol was sitting right beside you, and you remember that Melissa Joan Hart wasn't in the recording session. So it's just little things like that's kind of because I wanted to know, and you were able to answer those questions.
Well, thanks for making me feel better. But that was terrific, and we're back in, baby. Yep. Like this is our 2026. These are Justice League Unlimited episodes flying.
Yeah. We're blasting through. We're coming out, and that's it. That's actually the last of Unlimited season 1. Right. Now we start season 2. So we're if those of you are wondering who we're going to get, we're reaching out to several people. These are being recorded a little in advance of when they drop, obviously. So as soon as we have some people lined up and locked in for an episode, we're going to record it, and we're just going to press on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've told the listeners how hard it is to book some of the bigger actors because they're so busy. And even, listen, not just the actors. I mean, Dan Reba's busy, I mean, everyone's busy. And so it's not easy to book it. But we are doing our best, and we will try to get the best guests for you. We have some ideas, so we're working on it.
We got stuff in the works.
We got stuff. All right, so should we tell the kids how they can find you and know what's going on? I mean, you've got stuff going on. What's happening?
Yeah, so the live radio show every Sunday, if you're listening, you want to tune in and hear me with whatever guest I have. Like just last month, I had Cary Elwes on talking about his new movie, Dead Man's Wire. We've had a lot of fantastic guests last year. I know we're just rolling into 2026 here, but Craig Ferguson, stuff like that coming up. So stay tuned for all of those, and you can hear it every Sunday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. The best thing to do is if you would go over to YouTube, find Geek To Me Radio, hit the subscribe button, please, because I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers by my birthday, which I would love to do. That's April, so it gives me 3 months to get another 4,000 subscribers. We'll see how that goes for me. And hit the little bell notification thing. That way you get notified whenever I go live with an episode on Sunday. So in case you forget, I'm like, oh, he's going live and he's got this guy or this person or this director or whatever it might be. So check me out there. And of course, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Geek To Me Radio. I'm really loving Threads lately because it just seems like it's a little easier and I get a lot more traction there. And I am doing my 365 days of movies. So every day, the entire rest of this year, I'm watching a movie, and you can follow me there on Letterboxd, and I put those up on Twitter as well. So if you're on Twitter, Geek To Me Radio, and you can check out which movies I'm watching. Some are great, some are
not good. Oof.
But what about you? What are you watching?
What about me?
What are you doing? What apps are you on?
Well, it's kind of personal.
Sorry.
I'm on Blue Sky and Instagram and Threads. I'm back on Threads, Susan Eisenberg 1 on all of those. And I also have a website, susaneisenbergvoice.com. And you can, track me there and my appearances, where I'll be, which Comic-Cons I have coming up, which reminds me, I always want to put it out there to the fans. This is our 25th anniversary. So I'm anxious to hear how you, the fans of the show, would like us to celebrate it. So please let me know your thoughts about that. And now that we've told you how to reach us, and you can also email my website. So that's also available. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is another thing. It's a new year and we want to grow this podcast. So please, go to wherever you listen to podcasts, go to that, go to us, Justice League Revisited, and subscribe to the podcast. And if you wouldn't mind, I know everyone's busy and has things to do, but if you have a minute, could you spare it to just leave us a review and tell us what you think about the podcast? And please be kind.
Yes. Yes. As my friend always
James
said.
James and I are very sensitive.
Yeah. My friend Steve always said after we do a live theater show, he says, if you liked what you saw, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, keep your mouth shut. So that's kind of what we express here as well.
Yeah, zip it. All right. Well, so I think that's it, right? Another one in the can?
It's in the can. We're done. It's
right.
Booked.
We're done. Okay. Well, listen, kids, just keep listening because the conversation continues.